Hello, gods, goddesses, and fans.
We are going to talk about the Image comic title, The Wicked and the Divine.
And we're drinking some jasmine green tea.
Because we need to chill out.
Oh my god. So this comic, though... written and created by Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey, with colors by Matt Wilson and lettering from Clayton Cowles.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The basic byline is, every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. They are loved, they are hated. In 2 years, they are all dead. The year is 24. It's happening again. It's happening now.
Gosh, there's so much density packed into this.
Yeah. Kieran Gillen tends to really write meta,
Yeah.
On multiple levels, but with really strong emotional stories connected to it, which is fantastic.
There's no, disengaging from these characters
No.
just because they're all representational of more than just themselves. But it really is, it's a love letter to youth culture and the propensity of the youth of any given time period to be sort of
Pushing the culture forward.
the energetic
Avant-garde.
moving force behind
Yes.
culture.
Yes.
And it says it all, they're loved, they're hated. It's true. That's how we treat young people.
Yes, and it's very much about the relationship between these young people who are famous pop stars and their fans, and how that relationship is in some ways symbiotic, how it's sometimes more parasitic from one direction or the other.
And how rare it is to ever cross that line between being one or being the other.
And how sometimes people do.
Sometimes people do start out as a fan and become famous for themselves.
No spoilers. Another thing that's really remarkable about this series, I think, is, they're picking a pantheon of 12 gods, and they've really chosen gods from a variety of cultures around the world, and created the cast very much with an eye towards ethnic diversity, cultural diversity. But there's one character that drew a lot of ire in the very first issue alone.
Talking about beginning how you mean to go on and taking what you first see as evidence of what you will continue to see, it is seemingly quite problematic that a Japanese goddess
The Japanese sun goddess Amaterasu
would be a white girl.
A lot of fans had problems with this, and they connected with the creators on their Tumblrs to talk about it. This is really a template for how most creators should connect with their fans when they're talking about potentially problematic or very problematic issues. I mean, the first thing that really sticks out to me in the responses that they said, we understand if this means we've broken a trust with you and you can't continue reading our story. That's on us. That's amazing. There's no,
To understand that
you're
there's
being too sensitive, you don't get what I'm doing.
That there's a trust relationship between creator and fan.
And
that
it
is
can be broken.
fragile. Yeah, and it is so meta too, because there's a lot in the comic about the relationship between creator and fan and what responsibility, if any, does a creator or an artist have to their audience, because everyone sort of approaches that really differently, but Gillen and McKelvey have sort of laid out a way that they would like this relationship between us, the fans, and then the creators to go that is really healthy.
Yes.
And
hopefully it's healthy for them also, but it's definitely very supportive and very inclusive to fans. So we really can't recommend this comic enough.
I mean, and if all of that doesn't really excite you, these gods are all based on existing
They've said they're combinations
stars.
of pop stars, but every time I look at them, I see
There's a dominant one.
dominant force at play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Rihanna.
Oh, yeah.
There's in Sekhmet. There's a lot of...
There's Prince in Inanna.
Oh, Prince and Inanna. There's Bowie and Lucifer.
It's, what's her name from... Florence Welch from...
Florence Welch and Amaterasu.
Yeah. So, they all have very defined aesthetics that are, of course, in this artist's hands, just so completely honored and beautiful and just amazing to look at.
So I guess we have to read-elect Supply with an Army.
Oh, man. I mean, how do you do that with gods? But we're gonna.
I was gonna say Athena should
Yeah.
get the army, but she also just doesn't, for being the goddess of wisdom, she is literally like
She's 14.
14, so she doesn't have a ton of experience to back up her moves.
But
I'm not
who
totally
else
caught
do
up,
you
but
trust with an army?
I mean, I'd give Laura an army, but that's one of those great decisions we could make.
It does sound like a terrible, awesome decision. Yeah, okay. So let's give Laura an army. Yes. I want to read the Morgan.
Yes. Oh my god, her None More Goth poetry
None More
would
Goth.
be amazing. Yes.
She basically speaks in goth poetry.
Basically.
So someone should just follow around behind her and write it all down. Baphomet would do that.
He probably does. Oh man, who are we gonna elect? We could elect Cassandra.
We could. No one listens to her. But
No one listens to Cassandra.
we could
Like her name,
But
but
we could elect her.
Yeah.
She's great. She's so cynical. She like starts out as an atheist
yes.
and then becomes a god. So that's like
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet. We did it.
None of those costumes are sexy versions.
Nope.
They're just women doing their jobs.
Doing their jobs.
Why
And
that gives
being
me chills is sad, but it does.
and being underestimated and shoved under the carpet. I feel like a lot of women understand what it's like to do their job and do it well and get none of the credit for it.